Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 11 already of the Venly Expert Talks. It's the first episode of the new year, and we're not streaming live anymore on our social media because we want to make sure to have the best quality for the podcast and don't have any technical issues. But if you still have questions, you can ask them to me directly on Twitter. So you can find me via the Venly account. I just made a post where you can click through to my profile and just shoot me your questions for our guests. As a reminder, why we do this, why is this podcast here is to inspire the next generation of Web3 builders with great stories by great minds. And a great mind that we have with us here today is Sergej Kunz, the co-founder of 1inch Network, and we'll talk about the future of DeFi and what the tools will be for mass adoption. So thank you very much, Sergej, for being here with us. Can you give first a little bit of background about yourself, about your life and your background in crypto?
Hi, Ian. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Sergey. I'm living in Germany, Stuttgart, the city of Porsche. I was working previously also for Porsche AG. Was like a DevOps engineer and a security expert. I was working in the last, let's just say, 60 years and different startups. I built my own company for the aggregation of telecommunication services like SMS, HLRs. And so aggregation is actually nothing new for me. I was working also in some other aggregators like product aggregators. Which serve just the products, where you can buy the products. And I collected a lot of experience. And one day I met Anton, and we started to participate on hackathons. Short time before, we were like streaming on live streams and on YouTube, like 3, 4, up to 8 hours at one piece, by doing security audits of smart contracts. So I jumped into the crypto space more deeply. Before I was like minor, had like really
Cool.
huge money farm in Germany.
What year was this?
Farming was end of 2017 and 2018. I stopped some one day where it was not profitable anymore. The story is like, I started to work like to travel around the globe with Anton. Great software engineer and architecture experience, which I collected in the last 17 years, together with Anton, which has similar experience, but in different fields. I'm like fully full stack, like from backend to frontend to DevOps to cybersecurity. We participate in the hackathons almost every month. ETH Global Hackathon, like in Singapore, the first hackathon where I met Vitalik Buterin. It was really cool to speak with such great people. And we just continue to do that. And we participate on almost more than 20 hackathons around the globe, like South Africa, India, New York, Boston, Denver, Belarus. In Japan, we were like also with some friends as well. It was like the Japan travel was like about the DEF CON. It's just like, it was like traveling around the globe, meet great people, and we built really great network. And most of these people we met are our friends right now, are also core contributors in 1inch Network. A lot of people who were sitting in New York on a table where I was sitting and writing 1inch together with Anton. Those people are working with us here and building 1inch.
Cool. That's a great story. And how did you come up with the idea for 1inch, and when was this?
So we were traveling around the globe, and we built many different things. So, for example, in South Africa, we built decentralized live streaming platform where you pay for each kilobyte by using state channels. We built a QR token, which is like airdrops, but in real world, and some other things. But to the idea of 1inch of the aggregation itself, among different liquidity sources, we came on a hackathon. Most of our ideas came on a hackathon because we tried to feel what is in the air by speaking with, for example, Vitalik Buterin. I was speaking with Hayden Adams in New York. He was next near of my table, and I catch them, and we were talking about the Uniswap protocol, and I told him that I have this idea to aggregate, and he said, "Yeah, cool, that's great." Vitalik also said it's really cool idea. Also, the organizer of ETH Global, Liam, I guess Liam Horn, he said, this is the next big thing, but I'm not sure if it's really possible to build it. So, and I said to him, I will deliver it, and I really didn't sleep over the night, so like over 40 hours, 40 something. It was really funny story. I wanted to sleep. Like the co-founder of Tornado Cash, Roman Stone, was sitting next near of me on the table and said, "Sergey, you need to sleep." And that's, I have seen airbed, next year of my place, and I thought this is like a bed from organizers, and I just tried to use that. But after 5 minutes, one guy came to me and wake me up and said, "What are you doing in the bed of my girlfriend?" Yeah, it was really funny.
No way.
So I had no chance to sleep and just leave it. At the end, the room behind me started to change because of like sleepless, like 40 hours sleepless. Yeah, and to the idea itself, Anton had the idea to build a page where you see all liquidity sources like Uniswap, what was there, Kyber, Banker, and you see the best rate on which, you see the best exchange with the best rate, and you select it and exchange. But I suggested to Anton to build. I'm really very bad in algorithms. Independent from them, that the current algorithm is written by me, by myself, and it's the best right now on the market. But this is like collecting ideas from Anton and our tech team, like Michael, for example, as well, Melnik, and just building a prototype and giving this prototype to other contributors to make it more efficient. I suggested to him to build an algorithm. I had just a feeling. I have no like bachelor degree or master degree or high mathematical knowledge. I'm just software engineer and a software architect based on my experience, in the last years. But I had this feeling that it makes sense to split among different liquidity sources, and finding out how much should be exchanged to achieve best rate in the summary, in the sum, And he went like for 2 hours and come back with a first prototype of algorithm. It was written also in smart contract. Nowadays it's running on more than 300 servers. The algorithm, it's highly complex right now, because there are like only Ethereum 25,000 liquidity sources. And in the first days of 1inch, it was like only 4 protocols with maybe hundreds of liquidity sources like smart contracts. So and what we did, we split it among liquidity sources. Right now we are doing more. We are like Google Navigator from Stuttgart to New York, for example. It's like you have a lot of packages, and you need to deliver these packages from Stuttgart to New York, but you can use multiple ways. So right now we are using multiple markets. So if you exchange Ethereum to USDC, for example, we exchange Ethereum maybe to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin to DAI, and then to USDC. In parallel, we part of this full amount of your Ethereum tokens, we exchange maybe directly to USDC. and also through USDT market and maybe other markets, maybe through 1inch token as well as connector token. This is getting more complex, but the idea we came to the idea on the hackathon, and I suggested to Ante to build such algorithms. He built. I built the UI in the parallel, and at the end of the hackathon, we had fully working prototype. And Liam, Horns, the organizer from ETH Global, when I showed him that the algorithm saved like 20-30 percentages,
he was completely convinced.
because this is the next big thing, and it is really the big thing here in DeFi from my point of view. We introduce aggregation in DeFi, which improves the user experience, a lot.
Exactly, and now we I think we explained what 1inch does, but for the listener, the one that doesn't yet know what 1inch does or can't put his finger to it, how would you pitch 1inch today as a product to somebody that doesn't know 1inch yet?
Yeah, everyone is using aggregator. Right now, Google, you have Booking.com to find a hotel. You are not going to every of these hotels website and compare the rates. You're using aggregator. So, and 1inch in the first step is a DeFi aggregator. So you don't have to go to every decentralized exchange like Uniswap or somewhere. You can just use 1inch, and it reduces also costs when you swap on 1inch and the swap goes through Uniswap, for example. You save on the transaction cost because our implementation of the router, of the swap router is more efficient. So that means it's just compared to the real world, this is like an aggregator compared to Booking.com, Google, Uber, whatever, and offer you the best user experience and it saves time and money for you.
Great. Yeah, it's a really great, understandable pitch. And I must say, I'm a user of 1inch, and the user experience is great. So it's completely true what you say. So that's awesome to hear. And there was one really quote from Sandeep in one of our podcasts, and he said we need to make blockchain invisible. And if we still talk about what chain is best in 5 years, we have failed as an industry. What is the vision of 1inch to make exchanges cross-chain and chains invisible? Are you there yet, or how do you envision this for the future user?
Right now, for sure you can combine all the liquidity sources, like also multiple chains, by using a custodian service. So, but this is not the matter of DeFi. DeFi is about composability and non-custodian implementation from my point of view. So, and to implement atomic swaps through multiple chains, it's very difficult. There are some risks. So, for example, you transfer through a bridge to Polygon and swap on Polygon. The transfer takes 40 minutes potentially. And this is too long because the price can change. That's why actually in 1inch, also in other aggregators, there are market makers integrated. They just also kind of provide liquidity for swaps, and they actually do this job. Theoretically, we can offer very soon swapping on Ethereum and getting the token on Polygon through market maker. This potentially could be
awesome.
So direct swaps, like maybe swap and transfer is fine. You swap on Ethereum and you transfer to Polygon. You're fine that you're waiting like 30 minutes for the tokens, but everything else is very, 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 very risky. So you can the transaction can fail because you will not get the minimum return amount, or if you set higher price slippage, you lose potentially like 10% or something like that. This is highly risky. But I see in the future layer 2 solution for scaling. From my point of view, there's no need for a lot of change like Binance Smart Chain, which is just a copy of Ethereum with a proof of authority. implementation. The same for Gnosis chain, XDAI, and some others. They are not solving any problems with that. Yeah. So that they like use old technology which is existing since like 3 years. This proof of authority. This is not a game changer. Game changer is moving Ethereum right now to a proof of stake, by using the validators, which were actually planned for Ethereum 2.0. So we are away from the miners and this not efficient proof of work mining. And then you make on top of that just layer 2, like for example, ZK Sync, optimistic rollup or Arbitrum. From my point of view, this is not really the kind of final solution. Final solution could be this ZK Sync from the Matter Labs, where everything is already proven. Yeah. So in optimism, they think that everything is okay. If someone lies, then there's 7 days period of time where someone can just provide proofs that someone, lies. Yeah. In ZK Sync, it's not possible, and it's already in alpha testing, and very soon also in the mainnet, and they promised 25,000 TPS. It's a lot, and we can scale. Yeah, Ethereum 2.0 was around planned for 4,000 TPS. Yeah, something like that. Maybe a little bit more later, but Ethereum 2.0 is like about sharding, and sharding architecture is different to the current architecture of Ethereum, because you need to rethink everything. Yeah, you cannot execute any more atomic transactions. So you cannot just like what we are doing right now, swap on Uniswap, balancer curve, and if the return amount is not enough because the price changed in the transaction time, the transaction is reverted after that. So this is not possible in sharded blockchain. If you use different shards, it's asynchronously, and you cannot revert some of the internal transactions. And this is really a huge problem of Ethereum 2.0 from my point of view. That's why we need just Ethereum 1.5 and with this proof of stake and layer 2 on top. Also, I guess Anton, my co-founder, was talking to Vitalik in Paris last year in summer about that, and Vitalik also said layer 2 is really good solution. Yeah. And Snarks, kind of ZK knowledge proofs. It's a good technology to run side, like layer 2 solutions, also in composable manner, so everyone can deploy there. What we see already on Optimism, for example, right now, but with really small amount of traction from my point of view on Optimism Arbitrum. I don't know why, but when it's layer 2, highly scalable, kind of, we have like 20,000 TPS, and we have all the projects also deployed on layer 2 with fully EVM compatibility. Then this is like it's not alternative for Ethereum. This is an upgrade of Ethereum. So, and this is not different. And we have still huge community. There are some blockchains like Solana and some others like Near. They say, we need a new chain. Yeah, but Near at the end, released with an additional team, Aurora, which is just EVM on top of Near blockchain. Yeah, like blockchain in a blockchain. It's funny.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that's good vision and good insights as well on the market and where we're going, where we should go. There's one question that I personally, but we also at Venly get a lot is even if we see like DeFi usage going through the roof and the number of wallets interacting with DeFi products is just exponentially growing, so we see more and more people going to DeFi. But then, why do you think that a lot of I would say retail investor or corporates that have a lot of cash on their bank accounts don't or aren't in DeFi yet, where you see APY returns of 10 to 12%? Do you think that's because of regulation, or is it too complex for them to access to those DeFi products, or is it not safe enough? Why do you think that is?
I guess this is like in early compared to the earliest days of internet, and computers, personal computers, people were also thinking, wow, this is like only for people who are like like Kentucky,
Super
geeks,
techy
and
geeks.
but the adoption will come for sure. Right now I try also to onboard like friends, also from the family, and I see that they don't understand how it works. This is really difficult for them to understand how that works. That how it is possible that I have my money on my in my pocket. I own the tokens. Because there are some custodian services they do onboarding, like I guess Celo and some others who offer also, I guess, also lending, but it's in custodian manner. Also, I guess Compound, I don't know, Compound, Coinbase plan to offer also lending on Compound and Aave, what I heard. But they have some problems with regulators, and regulators for sure they have kind of, they would like to regulate because they try to protect the people. I understand them fully. I also think like compliant DeFi is also one of the topics which is coming this year for sure. We're also working on kind of compliance DeFi with OneInch Pro. We are also, institutions can work because a lot of banks, they are very interested to work in DeFi to provide liquidity and for people, normal people here in Europe, here in Germany. When you have more than 50,000 euros on your bank account, you pay negative interest rate, 0.5 percentages. This is insane. And I think, people will come to the point that they will understand it. More adoption will come. Because also the user experience is getting better and better, compared to 2019. Also, my first reaction when I opened MetaMask, I thought, what the fuck is that? what is that? Why is this incredibly bad implemented user experience? But it's getting better. There are more wallets. We also released own wallet because we didn't find a wallet which we love to use, which is like flexible and kind of offer cool features. Also protect the people, from like losing money. It's getting better, and it will come. Maybe in 10 years, maybe. We will see.
I hope sooner.
But you know what are 10 years? Think back,
And
10 years ago, like 2012. I guess it was like my first touch point with Bitcoin, Litecoin, and a little bit mining on my MacBook. Like 10 years, nothing.
I have the feeling that everything is going to go so much faster than in the times of the internet, because with the internet, that was the time that we built all those media channels and communication channels, and now we have them, and we have all those platforms like GitHub to have open source code, etc. So I hope it's going to go faster. But I'm also agree with you that we're still early, as long as the regulators don't figure it out yet how to regulate the DeFi space. It's still very early. I also saw on your website that so OneInch has a DAO, and so the OneInch token is that the token that gives you let's say that makes you part of the DAO, and how? So my biggest question on the DAO is for the listeners that want to build a DAO. How did you set up that DAO, and why did you go for a DAO?
So we have an entity. This is the OneInch Foundation. This is an independent non-profit organization which created the token, and distributed among people who already used the protocols, and the idea for the token itself was actually to use it as a utility token in one protocol which is not yet released. We are working on that still. Actually, plan was to release it in December, but we had some problems here with security audits because like it's difficult to get some good security audits, and we release normally with like at least 8 security audits from different companies, to ensure that everything is safe. The idea was to use this token as a kind of insurance token in this special protocol, which is also one new innovation in DeFi space. But we came to the idea when we built our liquidity protocol over two weeks. We came just to an idea how to protect the people from front running attacks, what is happening all the time right now on Uniswap. We introduce virtual balances, which protects the people from a decay period. It's like a period when it's possible to swap back. So it's not possible to front run any people anymore on our liquidity protocol. And we came to the idea that the fee in the pool and some other settings should be set by someone. We develop everything in kind of permissionless manner and in the manner that there's no administrator and no upgrade process behind that. So we thought, who should set these settings? And we came to the idea we should maybe introduce instant governance. This is a kind of first step of this our governance system, where every token holder can stake the one-each tokens and has kind of a ticket to also manage these fees. For example, there's a pool Ethereum 1-inch, and the people can vote for maybe 1% fee in the pool. Yeah, by staking 1-inch token, getting the voting rights, and doing that. The next step was to introduce snapshot. So people can create proposals. Maybe one team would like to join the core contributors and build maybe additional product, and the DAO would like to accept that and maybe provide also a grant, which is right now happening through foundation. So if someone applies for a grant, foundation review that. We, core contributor, need to also to review that and give feedback, how we see it. And someone can just get maybe $100,000 in 1-inch tokens to build maybe a new protocol. Yeah, we have already two teams working on some ideas. Actually, 3.
Cool. And for people that are interested, as on the website, you can easily apply for a grant.
Yeah.
Via the 1-inch website, right? It's
1inch.io. There's a form, you can just fill it. You can also apply with just a tool, for example, parsing a transaction. Yeah. So you can maybe, this one guy who also got a grant. He built a tool, a library, which can parse a transaction on a blockchain and can say what happened in the transaction. For example, 1-inch transaction, that one part was exchanged on Uniswap, the other part on market maker, and maybe in the middle somewhere we had a small incident where maybe one of the exchanges failed. So you can see it and you can analyze all the transactions. This is really useful for the developers, for all developers, yeah, not for only 1-inch developers. Also for the people, for the users, it's visual better to understand what happened in the transaction. Yeah,
that's cool.
So and right now we have a treasury. In this treasury, we have almost $5 million since like two months collected from the protocols. So protocol generates some. Yeah, it's almost 5. Yeah, the aggregation protocol generates some revenue stream. The revenue stream goes to the DAO directly, to the treasury of DAO, and the DAO manages this. Yeah, so everyone who stake 1-inch tokens on Ethereum, they get a voting right and can create proposals, can get delegations from other users, yeah. For example, someone can propose to spend $5 million for charity for children, maybe. And if the community agrees, then transaction would be executed on the treasury. And so this is the step 2 of the governance. And this treasury, the DAO is also able to add new modules to the network. So it's like modular system, the 1-inch network. It can be added. The new protocols can be added. One thing what is not possible by the DAO is to manage the user interface, the website itself, because we are living in the real world, yeah. And the DAO is it's a DAO. It's a lot of people, and there's no entity behind that. Yeah, we need a vehicle to work with the real world, and for that there's a foundation. Foundation serves the front end. Yeah, there are contributors who write the UI code. There's an extra team, front end team for that, and contribute and deploy the front end. But the front end is served by the foundation. And when a DAO suggests something, then potentially foundation would agree on that. Depends on the legal state, because there are also some risks for the foundation itself. For example, to open USA. So USA was restricted from the beginning in the terms. Then there was a requirement from some lawyer advisors of the foundation that more strict protection should be implemented. So the contributors implemented this USA restriction. So because there are some risks, yeah. So SEC, for example, they're right now fighting with you. So what I heard, so they sued them, something like that. Yeah, and like this is really terrible. Yeah, this is like stopping these innovations, and the foundation don't like to have any troubles. And yeah, and that's why, like,
they don't indeed.
we came to the idea to build the 1inch Pro and try to get the right licenses. We're like, and Anton and some of the core contributors. We plan to build kind of regulated company. Then we can go to US as well and offer US service. Also other countries, and using also some institutions who would potentially provide liquidity, or also maybe use the algorithm to exchange tokens, or maybe banks in the future can use 1inch Pro to exchange euro to US dollars or to Singapore dollars, for example. This everything is possible, but we need the kind of compliance layer. Yeah, we need a compliance layer. It should be also regulated in terms of specific license should be there, but also there's same problem as for other companies like ours as well. There are really less amount of licenses there, because this is something new for them, and they really they don't have a solution right now. We can apply for a specific license, but if you not fulfill something, because we are not doing that, then it makes no sense to apply for a license for that. So, but this is like another topic. This is like this 1inch Pro. This is more. It's still non-custodian, but it's about also KYC and AML. Yeah, and also like we think also it makes sense to introduce right now in DeFi kind of identity, maybe NFT. So you can have your own NFT. This is your passport. Yeah, kind of in DeFi. No one can read it. Yeah, but if you got verified by some validators, I call it, you can maybe use specific services. Like maybe this soon 1inch Pro service, and you can only use this service when you pass KYC process on specific companies, which provide this KYC. Maybe Fireblocks, maybe 1inch itself, kind of 1inch Pro company itself. This could offer more compliant, more regulated DeFi, and this could be maybe a solution for the regulators itself. So they can go and say, okay, this wallet with this NFT, kind of passport NFT, did some exchange, and they exchange maybe stolen money, and we need to know who that is. And they can go to such to those companies who did this verification and can get the right information. And all these transactions are anyway transparent. So this is more or less compliant, I would say. And also, people who would like to exchange with someone, they can already verify the wallets by just checking the NFT and looking, okay, this guy is verified, then I'm fine with to exchange money with them.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy because the solution to make crypto and DeFi more compliant is blockchain as well. So it's super cool to see that we can indeed have our own NFT passport that lives on the blockchain, which we use to log into certain platforms, which tracks all the transactions that we do. So yeah, that's the first time I made that link to comply or to make DeFi more compliant through blockchain itself. So that's a great use case.
Yeah, if someone is here hearing, listening to that and would like to
Yeah,
spin up their own startup, just apply for a grant on 1inch.io, and you can get first hundreds of $1,000 in 1inch tokens to build on that, and also we provide support to and relations to VCs. So feel free to start
great.
to build that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And if you apply, just let me know. I will be happy to advise or to get Venly involved as well. That will be a great idea indeed. Sergey, last question before we come to the end. What are the best use cases, or what will be like killer apps on the market, on the DeFi market in the coming months and years? Like ideas that you maybe had or that you saw that weren't developed yet, or are being developed. What are your most favorite use cases and apps on DeFi?
I like the idea about derivatives on blockchain. So we have friends. This is Opium project, for example. They built derivatives on blockchain, on Ethereum blockchain, or Ethereum like blockchain. They are also on Polygon. And derivatives is one really big topic which can be really huge. If you look at the centralized platforms, there's a lot of volume, a lot of demand for derivatives, and in the real world, a derivative can looks like the description of it could looks like a book, huge book, yeah. And in the blockchain world, you have a protocol which describes everything how it works, yeah. From one side technically, and one side some of the specific corner settings. Like for example, Ethereum, like maybe call option for Ethereum USDC. Um, there are some people who stake Ethereum and um, selling Ethereum call options for specific price, maybe 30% is higher than right now. Yeah. And there are also some market makers or traders. They need to hedge the positions, yeah, and they buy it, and it works fully permissionless, yeah. And this is really huge. Also for the banks in the future, in this compliant DeFi, this could be also great, be a good topic. For example, the bank can buy an option for uh, euros because they hold only USD, yeah. And to avoid this price difference in time, they can just hedge the position by buying an option. And they are doing this right now in the traditional world, but it's like more complex, not in kind of permissionless manner. Also, oil, yeah, handling oil, like trading oil, or other gold, silver, um, everywhere is kind of required to have a hedge position to be able to hedge it by buying call option or maybe put option. And right now we don't see a lot of traction in DeFi, but it will come. Yeah, Opium is already started, and they are all the time sold out. They give you 20% APY on Ethereum. Just imagine on Ethereum, the 20%. Yeah. Of course, on a huge pump, yeah, you would sell your part of your Ethereum to a specific price, but for some people it's okay, like to selling like in 1 week,
Mm-hmm.
30% above the current price. Maybe it's okay for someone, and they're sitting in the position and get 20% APY. This is great.
Yeah, that's that's big. So if someone has an idea for this, creating derivatives on the Ethereum chain, or with the Ethereum blockchain, then I imagine you can apply for a grant as well.
This as well, yeah. You can build derivatives protocol. You can also join to one each network as well. If you have one own team, or you can just, if you're alone, you can also join the core team as well. We are about 90 people already around the globe. There are people in support. There are people in kind of marketing who are working with influencers. There are people who work regarding relationship to other projects. A lot of developers around the globe as well. Yeah, we have everything, and everyone is welcome to join. This is a network. This is a decentralized project. So, and everyone is a contributor. For sure, we have different reputations, yeah, and knowledge, but everyone is welcome to participate in that and contribute as independent or just as a core contributor.
Awesome. That's indeed the Web3 way of building projects. Great, Sergey. Before I wave you out, I want to ask you one last question. Sorry, is who should we invite for another Venly expert talk? If you had to give us one name of one big brain or somebody that you admire in space, who should that be?
Yeah, I would suggest Andrei from Opium Finance. They are building derivatives. Cool. He is a very experienced trader. He was working for hedge funds and so on, and he has also great vision regarding these derivatives. And it's still not yet kind of got the right traction from our point of view in DeFi, but it will come. And he's really great, educated, experienced guy. Yeah.
Awesome. I just added him on LinkedIn, and I will tell him that you introduced him to the Venly Expert Talks. Thank you very much, Sergey, for all your for letting us picking your brain, for all your awesome visions, and also for the awesome work that you do with everyone in the whole network of 1inch. I hope we talk soon or meet soon in real life. Until then, I wish you a great day and a great continuation of 1inch.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Bye-bye.